Hi, I'm Murray Rogers and welcome back into the fourth session of Welcome to My World. So far we've started off with the two most important questions that we can ever ask ourselves in our lifetime. And effectively they are, who am I and what am I here for? And when we truly take the journey to explore those two questions, as I've pointed out, it can have miraculous outcomes because we can discover so much about ourselves that is hidden from view, that's been covered up because of our coping mechanisms, our ego, our ways of being. And often this destroys our one opportunity to be happy, to contribute, to be truly loving, to be connected, to explore our spiritual nature rather than our materialistic nature. And so then in the second module, we touched on the illusion of self. So the importance was to get the distinction that we're not who we think we are, that who we really are has no form. It isn't our postcode, it isn't who we are in the mirror, it isn't even our thoughts. It's something beyond that. And so this is the journey that we're really talking about, a true journey of self-discovery. But in the third section, we explored the whole issue of mindset, because it's our ability to have an open mind, to be prepared to listen and to learn, that makes the difference. Because as I've pointed out, it's experiential learning that really opens the window to our growth. But not only do we need an open mindset, but I brought in two other factors and the other concepts, and one of them was letting go to grow. So we need to think about every time we make a judgment, every time we categorize something, like you're probably doing right now, we need to think, what is it that we need to let go in order to understand this better, in order to really participate. and so often it's just our concepts, our constructs, our thoughts, our prejudices, we all have a different view on things, and the ability to just hold judgment and just listen with questions in our own minds allows that to take place. And building on that, I introduced the concept of a place to stand. So sometimes it helps to trick our minds into thinking, okay, well, let's just listen with an open mind, but just while this is on, so that I can play the game of standing in the place of this being true, or seeing what's in it for me. So that's our journey so far, and I'm hoping in this fourth segment that we can just explore a little bit further whether we're ready, whether we really are seeing that we need to look further into who we are. And so my answer to that question is, when you're alone, when you're in your own space, how do you feel? Are you at peace with yourself? Are you at peace with your primary relationships, your significant other, your broader family? And if not, then I simply ask the question, what is it that you need to know? What is it you need to learn? What do you need to let go? What is it that you've told yourself about who you are that may not be true? That you may need to see a much different and bigger picture, perhaps. So there's a lot that we can learn in this whole area. And I guess a lot of the trick is identifying, are we really who we think we are? And if we're not, then maybe it's time to start unpeeling the onion and opening the envelope and thinking about this. And so I suggest there is a number of avenues And I'll just list them. So the first, I believe, is just, I guess, acquiring the knowledge. And I know it's not experiential knowledge, but it's getting information that we can look at with hopefully an open mind. And that involves, I guess, reading books, and I can suggest quite a number, but it involves perhaps joining groups and participating in courses and really trying to undertake a learning journey around self-improvement and mindset. And in that, I would suggest, is trying to grasp a number of concepts which may be alien to you, but may, in the learning or participating in the understanding of which, can make a profound difference. And one of those concepts that I've mentioned sort of 18, but one of these, and I've already covered 3 or 4 of them, is really the whole concept of the power of now, of the present moment. Because learning more about that, which we go into at some depth a bit later on, everything happens in the present moment. Everything else is just a story we've made up about our past, or a story we're making up about our fear or whatever of the future. And so the more we can spend in this present moment, the more alive we are, the more aware we are, the more beauty we see, the more love we have. Because that's when magic occurs. And that can be helped with practices such as mindfulness, meditation, and all of that. Yes, we can explore. And then there are the tools that we can obtain to help us in this journey, to help us focus. And these are, I guess, there's many practical tools. I mean, mindfulness exercise is a practical tool. Having an actual plan can be a tool. Having a daily affirmation list and reading through it and seeing oneself, having a vision or vision board, having a clear view of what your life will look and feel like when you feel complete, can be part of this journey. You can set up wellness programs. You can set up all sorts of programs and methodologies around solving problems. Now, all of this we can cover. But I would suggest a final methodology, and this is what I'm putting forward, is actually undertaking your own personal course in who am I and what have I come here to do. And for that, I've constructed a whole series of modules, with the course 1 really being around the who am I. And I've covered this a little bit, but it's really a process of you working through coming to terms with who you are not, to then start examining through a number of exercises, potentially, who are you? What is that uniqueness? What is it that makes you you, that can allow you to shine? Just as the famous speech was all about, letting your light shine and not covering it up. The second course is really about then developing out of that, who am I, who you will be, how you will be in the future. What is it that you are creating for yourself and how that will look? And then the third course is a series of modules around keeping that in place. Not only putting it in place, but keeping it in place. Because that's where we need the concepts and the tools reinforced. It's where we need support groups. We need conversation. We need sometimes to be mentored, or just to be on a chat avenue where we can talk to others in a similar position. And I welcome all of that. Because my motivation is simply around contributing to others what I have learned, and what I consider the amazing transformation of coming to see a whole side of myself that I had never seen previously, and to learning to love myself for who I really am. Thank you.